Hello everyone and welcome to a 5th edition of Amiga Vibes here on Slay Radio. My name is iZero and we'll be playing you Amiga remixes and other Amiga music for the next 2 hours. And you can join the chat on Discord, Slay.radio/Discord, and request your Amiga tracks on Slay.radio/request. Show started with Vandahlia, Stardust title screen music extended remix. I need to set up things a bit, so let's play next track, which is wait a minute. It's by Proton and called Harlequin Title Tune. Proton and Harlequin Title Remix, I think. Just lost the title from the screen. Title Tune. Yeah, so summer's here also in Finland. It's has been over 20, yesterday 25 and today 20. A little bit windy, but still first real summer weathers. So did some barbecue, like wings and vegetables and steaks, and so, and spent all days outside, so a little bit tired now, but yeah, nice. Already feel that I want to go to summer cottage, but the problem with that is that our summer cottage is like a bit over 300 kilometers from here, so it takes some arrangements to go there with whole family, 5 persons, and our oldest kid son is actually on camp for a week, so a little bit calmer in the house, not so much noise and stuff. Yeah, I still have something to fix up there, but let's go to check the requests, and we do have a couple of requests. Okay, let's play first request from Cactus. He wanted to hear HurryKn, okay, yeah. Xenon 2 Megablast 2017 old school mix.
Don't touch that, Doc.
HurryKn Xenon 2 Megablast 2017 Oldschool mix, and it was requested by Cactus. Hello Cactus and Slagon, and who else we have here? SDK, Ninja DNA, Geobacter, and everyone else who's listening or watching. I have the things are a bit again lost from the last time, because was it last Sunday? Yeah, I was about to no, it wasn't. No, well, anyway, one day, let's say, I was about to check some kitchen tables from shops, and took my iPad, and it was out of battery, so I went to kitchen to put it in the charger, and somehow I managed to throw it to the corner of the table, and then to the side of the cupboard, and then floor, so it got messed up a bit. So I had to put the what is it called, UwU app, which I'm using to control the mix. I had to set up that again a bit. Well, I had of course, I was lucky because the iPad still worked, so I could take a backup and then bought a new one and restored the backup to that. So essentially the same settings and everything, but still a bit different. And then again, came to the office a bit late, so I went quickly through the checklist for the start of the show. And I had something else in my mind also. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, let's play a track. I will come back to the next thing then, because I need to still do something. But yeah, one thing. It's show number 5, so I have a t-shirt for that. Actually, this is from my work. I got this when I had been in the house for 5 years. So it's saying fossil in the back. It's a nameplate because the company I'm working for is Siili, which is hedgehog in English. Igel på svenska, kanske. And well, Siili, fossil. So when you're 5 years in the house, you get the name Fossil. And I have a 10-year t-shirt also. And 15 is coming maybe after a few years. Let's see. I don't have a bed playing, okay? Yeah. Should have been played now. Let's play next request, but I need to do one thing for that. There. Ninja DNA requested Golden Axe by Makke. I didn't have it because it's not actually Amiga remix, but there is Golden Axe for Amiga, so I decided to do a quick download and got it from RKO. So This is a C64 remix, but I approved this time. So Makke and Tail's Golden Axe. If this wants to play it. Makke and Tail's Golden Axe. Yeah, there's some distortion in the sound, but it might be actually the track because the level should be about right, and I didn't hear that the previous tracks. let's go to the thing that I had in mind. So it's a official celebrity birthday month this month. So happy birthday to Martiland, Lala, and Xenon on Thursday, and Slagon tomorrow, and JLD in the end of the month. And I have something prepped for that. If I remember how I drive this thing. So here. Maybe. No. Let's try it again. And that was decent fully done in the end for the second. And first mod was Happy Birthday by Mystra, and later one by Jogeir Liljedahl. So I think that's why there was fully dumps there. Yeah, and speaking of birthdays, the next request is from FS. Well, there's FS Happy Birthday iZero, but it's not my birthday in June. I have a birthday in October. But anyway, FS wanted to hear Hyperbased Enigma by Amok, so let's play that. Amok, Hyperbased, Enigma, and it was requested by FS. And thank you for that. And my bed doesn't start to play automatic for some reason. Oh, let's not go there yet. No. Okay, let's do this. No, maybe. Yeah. Last time I saw something that I had been working, which is this automatic mouse joystick switcher for my Amiga 1200, and I thought that I got it working. Was it last weekend or so? So it was switching nicely between mouse and CD32 pad. And I was about to finish it with the rest of the connectors and things, but then tried with the normal joystick and noticed that when the CD32 pad was replaced with a traditional joystick, it didn't work. So I still need to figure out some bugs. So this is based on the one old schematic from 1991 or something. And I know that this has been used with the CD32 with some modifications, but I'm trying to figure out what are the necessary modifications to get that work with all the combinations. And then I this week also fixed a couple of C64s. I have had replacement power switch for them like year, two, and never got to change that or those. And the problem was that they are very stiff, and when you use the old switch, the C64 doesn't switch on at all, or then it takes like few seconds before the voltage and current is high enough to power the chips, so that's not good. So finally got that done. It didn't take like more than 10 to 15 minutes, so good to do that. And then I also started to fix the broken iPad. Like I said, the iPad worked fine, except that the screen was totally broken. So I bought a new one, but I decided to try to change the digitizer, because the screen LCD and digitizer are not laminated, so it can be done easier than for the phones. So started to do that, and it went quite well until I tried to save the fingerprint reader, touch reader, and it's here, so it's not it's not there where it should be. I think I was a bit too quick with the removal, so there is this 2 layers of the flexible PCBs layered on top of each other, and with tape on the bottom and the end, so it just went well in 2 pieces. So I had to order a new digitizer with a button, and it means that the fingerprint reader won't work again. But anyway, if I get the iPad work without the fingerprint reader, it's okay, because it was already like 7 or 8 years old, so there's not much value anymore for that. But the new glass price is like 10 euros from China, so it's worth of trying to fix it. Yeah, let's play next track, and I chose it to be OutRun Passing Breeze live performance from Fluke 73, Tony Wiren. Let's try to play it. Fluke 73 or OutRun Passing Breeze. Oh, yeah. It was not a request because it was from my list. Yeah. And speaking of OutRun, I saw I think post somewhere that Ria Somber, who has been doing the a new Amiga conversion from the arcade OutRun, that there was a article in the latest Zeb magazine about that. I haven't read that, but saw some pics. Let's see. Yeah, there's a request from unknown, no, not unknown, uncount birthday child, and the request is Carl Lewis Challenge, Reach Out for the Code by Dr.Future. So let's play that, and happy birthday. Dr.Future and Carl Lewis Challenge, reach out for the code. It was requested by unknown birthday child. So thank you for requesting that. And I have a demo coming. We have played so far demos for Norway, Sweden, Finland, so I thought that next in line would be the next Nordic country, Denmark. So I will play that after the next track. And next track was request from Ninja DNA. That is Assassin by Alistair Primble, and there is two remixes of that. Let's hear the version from Titan, Assassin Hiscore Stone Age remix. Assassin Hiscore Stone Age remix by Titan, and it was requested by Ninja DNA. Thank you for that. Yeah, so let's go to the demo. So, a demo from Denmark. First that I came up is the, of course, the Kefrens group. Well, the Desert Dream is one of the classics, I think. It's a bit long one, like well, many have been so far, but let's play that anyway. I had that already on my 1200 HD, and so I thought that I don't need to check that beforehand, but then I decided to play it anyway, and good that I did, because it worked, but only the first part, and it came originally from in 2 discs, so it hung on the disc changed. So yeah, had to reload that and make the image again, but now it should work. So let's prep that. Yeah, yeah, it's like I don't maybe 12 to 15 minutes, maybe something like that. I didn't clock it, but don't time it. So you have time to go to the fridge, get some drinks or something. Here we go. There. And The Desert Dream by Kefrens. Some nice effects and music by Laxity, and it says that probably last non-AGA demo from Laxity. So we can maybe also play next time some AGA demos or demo. Let's go to the requests. Next request is from Out of Requests Error, and it's Space Harrier by Peter Clarke.
Welcome to the fantasy zone. Get ready.
Special Rare by Peter Clarke, and it was requested by Out of Requests Error. Usually, well, not usually, but often you get Pete on the join the chat on Discord by playing his tracks, but didn't work this time. Yeah, I forgot to say about the Kefrens demo. Cactus commented that we stole and used so many samples from this one. So I asked that where can we listen to the end results, but unfortunately nowhere it seems. But he says that might have some tapes somewhere, and if the tapes are as good quality as the your singing, karaoke singing, which we heard on your was it last show, then you should really find those tapes. And if you missed the karaoke, I think it still can be watched in Geek, so check the Cactus show there. And yeah, if you have requests, or it doesn't have to be a certain remix, or you can just put the name of game or demo or mod to the requests. I will figure out something from that. So Slay.radio/Discord, we have still some 40 minutes to go. But yeah, well, let's play the next one. It's a request by FS, and it's Turrican 2 Traps Aegean's Renewal 2001 by AegeanXG. AegeanXG, AegeanXG, Turrican 2 traps against Renewal 2001, and it was requested by FS. I remember one thing that I was planning to show on the very first show, and the next one and the next one I still haven't showed it, but let's check that out now. Because I have these nice stamps that my colleague from work ordered from England. It has been quite many years ago, but yeah, the British let's see how it goes. Stamps from popular games. So there's Dizzy, Populos, Wipeout, Micro Machines, the best one, Sensible Soccer, Lemmings, Elite, and Worms. Yeah, so thanks to Jukka who made the order and asked for other interested people to join the order. So of course I joined because there's a Sensible Soccer stamp must have. Let's play one track, and my choice, it's HyperUnknown and UwU KAOS. hyperunknown UwU KAOS. Yeah, about the stamps, it's 2020 when they came out in the UK. By Royal Mail. Yeah, let's play next request. It's requested by Frank Os M. Sorry. The request is Deflector A500 PB remix by Bob Blackford. Paul Blackford's Deflector remix. Yeah, lost it already. Deflector A500 PB remix. Yeah, I was working with one request, and I'm not sure if I have a means to play it like it was requested. Let's see. Yeah, but in the meantime, I have a request from Ninja DNA. It is Alien Breed Tower Assault by 7D9, so let's play that.
dead. You're on your own.
'79 Alien Breed Tower Assault, and it was requested by Ninja DNA. Thanks for requesting that. Alien Breed is a game, I know it's a good one, but I haven't really played that. Like, not even finished the first levels or level or dependent game, because we didn't have that back then in the 90s. So I have it installed in the Amigas now, but mostly like test it and run the main titles and so on, but not really play it. Should play it one day. Next request is by unknown user, and it's a remix from Lucas. I think this might be the only one in AmigaRemix.com, and it's, if I remember correctly, it's one of the earliest Lucas remixes on RKO or /AmigaRemix.com. Street Fighter 2 Kenti. Lucas and Street Fighter 2 Ken team, and yeah, it has the levels of the track is real low, and the normalization ramps that up quite harshly, so there is a distortion. Sorry about that. And speaking of distortions or harsh sounding things, Jogeir, I tried to get that RSI Mega Demo video from YouTube play. Well, I can play it, but in the current setup I cannot skip it to the correct point, so I've had to figure out something how to play it from that point, so might be for the next show then, if I don't figure it out now before the end of the show. Yeah, but yeah, well, next track from my list on the queue, and it's Ethereal Void Part 1 Night Wolf 2024 remix. that was Night Wolf with something. Ethereal 40.1 Night Wolf 2024 remix. Yeah, I think I have enough tracks now to finish the show. Let's see. Yeah. Next and final request is from unknown user again. And it's Dr.Future with Hollywood Poker Pro 2001. There's a later version of the later remix of the same track, but it's with the vocals, and I prefer this better, even though the ratings are higher in the later one. But anyway, let's play this one. Yeah, let's do that. Dr.Future and Hollywood Poker Pro 2001. There's a talk about Evercade in the Discord. I don't own one, and I'm really not familiar with them, but reminded me that I have one Amiga related hardware that I haven't shown either, and it's the Game Boy, but it's not original version. Well, it's a bit mod. I had to check, and it was 2016 when what was the name of the guy? Sudomod released articles about modifying Nintendo Game Boy to Nintendo Game Boy Zero using Raspberry Pi Zero and stuff to work the thing to work like with the what was the called distribution of the arcade thing, RetroPie. So I bought one Game Boy, actually two. Both were a bit broken, so I combined them so that one is working Game Boy, but I don't have any games actually. No, but I think it should be working. There was one game, this Japanese version of some Mario. What was it? I don't remember. Yeah, some weird Mario game it was. So I used that and built this. So there is RetroPie, so it can be played like Nintendo games, Mega Drive, Master System, C64 of course. But then the Amiga emulation was way too slow to function properly. But later, when the Raspberry Pi Zero 2 was released, I upgraded this, and now it plays Amiga games like okay. But the problem is that it's a bit power hungry. So and actually I have a smaller battery currently there, so it's like half an hour of playtime with the Amiga. So I haven't really used that much, but I should check that out with and get a bigger battery that maybe better screen and so on, or then buy decent hardware. But it was fun to build one. Let's see, we have 2 tracks to go. Next one is Shadow Fighter BGM09, and I selected that because the artist name Pi Pi. So I was thinking that Pi Pi should make a remix of Spy vs Spy, and we could play that on the as a last track and say bye bye. So that was the reason to play this time. Pi and Shadow Fighter BGM09. And now it's time to say also bye-bye. So it's time to end the show. Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining and requesting. And have a nice Monday tomorrow. And Slagon, happy birthday soonish. Well, 1.5 hours still to go. Let's see. I haven't really planned for the next. So, but Xenon, I will play your request next time. Of course, I really didn't have time to check the track, and like I said, I have a means to play the YouTube videos, but I didn't figure out how to skip to a certain point. But yeah, there is a remix of that RSI hard, so let's play it next time. For the last track I have chosen Galoonia by Ivan Sommerstein. So have a nice week and see you next time, and don't forget to watch also Ghost Radio and of course Slagon and Xenon on Thursday. So Ivan Sommerstein and Galoonia, and bye.